boys and girls, you keep it where it is. This is real exciting. You're going to really like this. Of course you're going to keep it where it is. You've been watching this all along, and now this is our 10th episode. Oh, this is so exciting. So let's begin with a poem like we always do. The name of the show is obviously There Is a Place. There is a place where things are done in a wonderful way. There is no competition, and all the boys and girls are sharing every day and day and day. There is a place where all the girls and boys are open to creativity. At this place, there is a building of technology. There is a place where true democracy exists, where all people are equal and have liberty. At this place, all people are open to cultural dissimilarity. There is a place where the boys and girls experience love and joy and are aware and they feel and are truly free. At this place, the girls and boys replace the market economy with economic democracy. Okay, boys and girls, this is our 10th episode. The name of it is Social Characteristics That Favor the Development of Creative Genius. That's what we're going to talk about today, boys and girls. I'm your host, a storyteller, and let's get started. Let's look at social characteristics that favor the development of creative genius. Okay, in other words, we want a society that favors creative genius. Now, this is an interesting study that was done, and they know what type of society it takes. Okay, based on research, based on certain societies have more geniuses than others. What it takes to have even more creative geniuses. First, the society has the technological knowledge. Some societies build up technology and practice in music, science, and art, and some do not. What they do know, for instance, in the past, boys and girls, they know that ancient Athens had more than their share of geniuses, during the time of Aristotle and all those guys. Okay, and the Renaissance had, during the time period of Michelangelo and Da Vinci, they had more than their share of geniuses in Florence. So you're looking at this, well, is it genetic? Well, if it's genetic, you had the ancient Greeks in Athens. How come they don't have the high percentage of geniuses that occurred after that time period? And the same with the Renaissance with the Italians. How come they didn't have that many geniuses after the age of Michelangelo and Da Vinci if this was just based on genetics? No, there has to be something in the culture, in the society, that encourages it. We're not saying, we don't know how much being a genius is genetic, but obviously some of it is, but also a big part of it is cultural. You got to have the society that encourages this. So you have to have a society that practices music, science, and art. This is encouraged to build up technology. Okay, and if you look at different groups that encourage this, you see that they have more than their share of geniuses than other groups that do not. Okay, genius is allowed to develop. You could have a person born a genius, but if the environment doesn't encourage creativity, that person's genius is not going to develop. So you got to have the right environment. Genius doesn't overcome bad environment, because if you look at, hardly anybody from a poor area becomes a genius unless they're discovered and they're put in the right environment where it's encouraged. These are certain things to realize. So now we're talking about a society that's open and promotes creative effort. This is what the school system is going to do. This is what our society is going to be all about. This is an economic democratic society, not a market economy. They're not open. They're open to only some degree as far as creative effort. If the creative effort is profitable, they're open to it. They will encourage it. But a lot of things that are creative, boys and girls, are not profitable. Okay? The cure for cancer is not all that profitable. The cure for diabetes is not all that profitable. To prevent heart disease is not all that profitable. It's not encouraged. So many things. Knowledge for knowledge's sake, just to learn certain things that we don't, is not encouraged because it's not profitable. Okay, this is not encouraged. If it's profitable, then it's encouraged. But a lot of things that are positive to us are not profitable. We're talking about a society where the profit no longer plays a role. We're talking about science for science sake, knowledge for knowledge sake, and what is needed for human beings to be more creative, okay, to develop even more. a higher level of thinking. The culture gives emphasis to becoming, not just being. Change in the future, not just instant pleasure. It's very different. Let's be honest, boys and girls, market economy supports a lot of instant pleasure, not future way of thinking. They encourage heavy drinking. You can see all the commercials. That's being a man, that's being cool, that's being whatever. Okay? That's not very creative, heavy drinking. That's just being. That's not becoming. That's not change, that's not future. Okay? Instant gratification. Look at all the fast foods that's advertised to us. Food that's not good for us. That's instant pleasure. Okay. Instant gratification. Okay. Oh, if you don't like the way your body looks, instead of working out, changing your lifestyle of eating, so on and so forth, get plastic surgery. Get your fat removed, liposuction, whatever. Look at all the businesses. Look at all the businesses here. Plastic surgery, look a certain way. This is all instant pleasure, if you will, instant gratification. Instead of becoming a certain way, and working to become, not being. I mean, and looking in the future, and looking beyond these superficial stuff. Okay, look at how our society promotes this. Okay, all instant gratification. Look how sex is promoted. Look at all your who's considered cool in movies. The single guy is cool, not the guy who has a relationship with somebody. Okay, look at that. Look at women as for instant pleasure, instant gratification. Look how women are presented in movies. They're not presented equal to men. Okay, these are certain things. This is all market economy. A matter of fact, when they sell a car, that's a market economy. You see a beautiful woman modeling the car, as if the beautiful woman, you buy the car, you buy the woman. This is all instant gratification. It's not becoming. It's not looking in the future. All citizens, not just a few, have admission to the creative arts. Only a few people have admissions to the creative arts. We're talking about, at a very early age, you're learning different types of arts. Okay. Why not? We have the materials to do it. Different musical instruments, we could all learn different types of art. Drawing, painting, sculpting. Okay, you got the arts involving media, so many different things. Filming. This could be open to everybody, especially now the way computers are. No reason for it. Also the sciences. Groups that have been traditionally exploited are given more liberty. Both the subjugation and liberty combine to increase creative contribution. Yeah, once we change to this type of society, economic democracy, boys and girls, and open up, that all this is open up to people. Look at all the workers in our country. Most workers have been exploited. Okay, maybe in our country we're not as exploited as, say, in a third world country. That's obvious. They're oppressed, but we're exploited. Okay, the workers here, almost every worker, even the ones that make pretty good pay, if you look carefully, the money that they produce, okay, for whoever they work for, they only get a fraction of what they produce. Now that fraction may be higher in the United States than it is in the third world country, but that is a form of it being exploited. Now you have a society where all the workers are not going to be exploited, and you give all different types of learning is going to be open to them. Oh boy, are they going to jump into contribution. Okay, a good example of this, you see workers who all of a sudden are picked and they're allowed to go to special schools, and you see them excel. For instance, if you look at all our scientists, boys and girls, in this country, they don't come from the elite. In the past, scientists came from the elite class.